Hello everyone, I am Renown Zero, and we are back again talking about the Castlevania Nocturne Netflix series. I'm going to be reviewing the series as a whole, reviewing basically episodes 4 through 8. In this video, if you want to get my first impressions of this series, and me talking about the first 3 episodes of the series, I'm going to leave a link below so that you can watch that video, talking about my first impressions and giving my thoughts on the first 3 episodes of this series. Now, the series as a whole, I still don't like the unnecessary race swaps. I still don't like the unnecessary slavery plotline. I still do not like that Richter Belmont is essentially a side character in his own show, because he is, again, the main character of the show. He's on the main poster of the series. He's in the first teaser trailer of this series. It was promoted as a series that was going to be based upon the Castlevania Rondo of Blood 1994 Konami video game, and yet they sidelined him, belittled him, made him out to be a coward going forward after episode 3. So, in episode 4, not really much happens. They go into this underground passageway, go ahead and find the night creatures that were created by the priest, and of course, there's big fight scenes, there's stuff going on. He gains a bit of confidence, Richter gains a bit of confidence, and then when he has to face off against Aurochs, who essentially deleted his mother from existence, he becomes a coward and essentially runs away. So basically episodes 4 through 6 becomes an entire arc of him being a coward, kind of finding himself meeting with a grandfather, a long-lost relative, his grandfather, Juste Belmont, and finally learning and being able to understand his legacy, his family's legacy, and finally we get to see the real Richter Belmont going into episode 6. Because episode 5 is just more demeaning of the character. You have Annette being an arrogant, ignorant character, going off on her own, not setting up plans. She's not, having a plan to do anything. She just kind of wants to bum rush. She wants to give revenge for her friend Edward, who is intentionally turned into a monster, and she just wants to go off on her own and thinks she can do it all on her own, proving again that, you got these strong women characters that they want to create and kind of force into series like this, which have, again, nothing to do with this series. This has to do with the Belmont clan versus Dracula and the forces of darkness, and him coming back every 100 years to face a new Belmont. So within episode 6, we finally get to see the real Richter Belmont. Right here at this moment was when we finally get at least some semblance of what Rondo of Blood is and who the character of Richter Belmont is. He kind of goes to this point where he's about to be deleted. He's about to be killed off by this random character that attacks him and Juste Belmont, who are getting attacked. Talked about how he's going to get rid of everyone he cares about, his grandfather, Annette, Maria, Tara, and anyone else he cares about. And this is finally the moment where we finally get to see the true power of a Belmont. From episode 1 up to episode 6, it took 6 episodes just to build up to this very moment here. Oh, sorry about that. You finally get all that build up here. And if you're using headphones, I'm just giving you a warning right now. This might be a little loud. So of course, for Netflix purposes, I have to constantly pause it. So essentially has flashbacks of Annette, his, Maria and Tara, and all the people he cares about, and we finally get the epic moment where he finally realizes the power that he has as a Belmont. And we get to hear that ever iconic theme that you hear in Rondo of Blood's first level. He gets attacked. He finally learns his abilities of ice and fire. It's right there as the theme. Finally get to see his power here. And you get that epic theme that anyone who's played Rondo of Blood will understand and recognize. So yeah, all these guys come and attack him. He's kind of blocking here with his gauntlets of ice. You get to see more of Justin Belmont. He finally puts on... Finally remembers who he is. He puts on the iconic bandana that he wears in Rondo of Blood. And this is the moment that...
But fuck it. But fuck it.
Just obliterates people. And that is the moment where we finally get to see Richter Belmont. We finally get to see him in real action rather than him not taking out enemies, being a coward. He finally has his redemption in the show. And like I said, it takes 6 episodes to get to this point. 6 episodes to get to this point. I have to get past the relationship between Ultrax and that one Crusader character. The weird scene that you have there in episode 4, at the beginning of episode 4, about 5 minutes in or so. Finally get to hear. And apparently find out that all the demons, right? All the demons, night watchers or night creatures that are created by the priest are apparently can somehow have a conscience still, even after being transformed into creatures of the night. And of course, the big bad villain is not Dracula. It is a white woman vampire. Of course, because they have to insert this feminist nonsense about power dynamics between men and women. You have to put this stuff in here. They always got to inject this garbage in. And it's at this point in this episode as well, right? I think it's actually episode 7, where Annette finally starts to, have plans before just being reckless. She's been reckless majority of this whole season. And even in this episode, she calls Richter Belmont useless as F as she talks to one of her ancestors about him, and she literally shows no empathy for someone who is witnessing the person that got rid of his mother from the earth as he ran away. No empathy, even though she has gone through similar situations, losing a friend, losing family members, being part of that slavery in the Caribbean. So they teach her, yes, you have to have empathy for this person because you've gone through the same type of hurt, as he has. You finally get to episode 8. You have all the fight scenes, all that good stuff. You have the priest being revealed that, or is it maybe by episode 7, that Tara and the priest had a child who is Maria. You find out it's Maria, and he wants to sacrifice her to Elizabeth, I think her name is. And even at the end of all of it, right at the end of episode 8, we get the return of Alucard. We get the return of Alucard as he is in Symphony of the Night, so you know that a second season has obviously been set up. It's actually already been announced that a second season is coming. And again, Richter doesn't really kill too many people within all the episodes, and that has a bigger kill count than the Belmont clan, than the guy who is supposed to be part of the Belmont clan. All that build-up with this is cool. This is a cool moment where he gets a lesson from his grandfather, and he learns who he truly is. He finally realizes he's part of this Belmont legacy. But at the end of it all, even that one vampire lady that he's trying to get rid of gets ended by Alucard at the end of episode 8. All in all, I give this season probably a 4 out of 10. I would not even recommend. I can't even recommend the show because it's so asinine. The dialogue is cringe. The whole, again, the slavery plotline is absolutely pointless, and it ends up being this revolution is just to give you a backstory for no reason that means literally nothing to the lore of Castlevania. And it takes 6 episodes to actually get decent. Not even good. It takes 6 episodes, in my opinion, to get decent. So I would say if you're a Castlevania fan, you may like this show. If you're not a Castlevania fan, you're probably gonna like it more because you're not really invested in this lore. As I've already seen plenty of times, I've been called, you know, racist because I don't like these garbage race swaps that are very unnecessary. And they like to say, well, there's no real criticism of this show. Yes, there's a lot of criticism of the show. You just don't want to see it. You just don't want to look for it. You don't want to see it because you want to be in an echo chamber. But this show, in my opinion, is not very good. The original, again, is way better, in my opinion. Season 3 was terrible, was very weak. They picked it back up with Season 4. Again, they had race swaps in there. They made Hector into a giant simp for the one pretty vampire, and they made Carmilla the villain. Which Carmilla as a villain, fine. She's been a villain in the show, in the games before, but at the end of the day, Dracula has always been the main villain. Death has always been a big villain. Shaft has always been a big villain in the Castlevania series, in the Castlevania franchise. This, they just created new characters out of nowhere. Alrox isn't new though. Alrox is one of those that aren't new. He never, and then nothing is really resolved either. Annette never really reunited with Edward. Richter never got to end the life of Aurochs, and he didn't even defeat one of the big bads either. It was Alucard. Another character had to help him. And I understand Alucard's a badass. I love Alucard as a character. He's my favorite character in Castlevania. But we had to see some big moments where Richter defeats a big enemy, and he really doesn't. He doesn't defeat any big, minor, major characters. It's all everyone else doing the majority of the destruction and getting rid of the monsters and vampires. There's really nothing here with Belmont. Hopefully, season 2 will be a bit better. We'll probably hopefully see more of it, but at the same time, still gonna have to watch the nonsense with the race swaps and the nonsense like Aurochs being also race swapped to an Aztec. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let me know if you've watched this series. Let me know your opinion on the series. These are my final thoughts on the series as a whole. And I just don't think anything was wrapped up very well. It was executed poorly, and the slavery plotline was absolutely unnecessary. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate everyone who checks out my videos. I love you all. You're all great. Hit the like button if you do like the video. Again, comment below what you feel about everything. Let me know if you've seen the show, what parts you liked the most, what parts you didn't like, if you like the show at all, if you like the Castlevania franchise, if you don't like the Castlevania franchise, I'd like to know. Please hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. I'll be doing more reviews on shows that I'm interested in watching. And hit the bell for notifications, set the bell to all. That way you get notifications anytime I post a new video. And I will see you all on the next one. Peace.